Now Raila again, anachapa corner. Leaves his brother and whatever. So people say, and goes to work with Moi. See, can you sleep with this guy in the same bed and you get some sleep? Yeah? We'll be waking up with nightmares all the time.
At night.
Yeah?
You have to confirm if he's still there.
So the narrative continues. Tuendelee mbele. 202. Si amesema Kibaki tosha.
Yes.
No sooner had the microphone, hood of Kibaki tosha. He's trying to remove the same Kibaki. I remember that time I sent a mutual friend called Jaindi Kisero. And I want him to deny because we met at, the writer, the economic guy. Because we had lunch with him at New Stanley. I had come from abroad. And I told him, I'm sending you to our mutual friend Raila. Go and tell Raila, even if he's tempted like how, let him not try doing, I know there's temptation because some people there, Kiraitu, Murungaru, Muiralia, Matere, Keriri, there are some people there who, they dug a hole for Raila, and then Raila blindly came in
and jumped in.
So I told Jaindi, let him, I know it is bad, but tell Raila to avoid that trap of antagonizing Kibaki. I remember Jaindi dismissed me, asked me, Kwani Kibaki is an emperor who cannot be, criticized. I said, okay. So again now, we go.
We build up.
They're supposed to be the same government. They're supposed to be working in the same government. And remember that time when Kibaki won, you remember Motogoli Ajamba?
Yeah.
When Raila went to Central, he was received like a hero.
Yeah.
And then he just squandered it. Squandered it within a year. Actually, Raila deserves a medal.
Of squandering?
Of extracting defeat from the jaws of victory.
Wow.
Even when victory is threatening to swallow him.
He chooses the defeat.
He chooses the defeat. And somehow he manages.
Mani hote ni mulikula huko
Hapana.
Mazingaombwe.
I don't know how you
Man
go.
Mazingaombwe
Hakuna goalkeeper, Gerald. Hakuna goalkeeper, mpira uko peke yako. Unashuti huko kama mlio.
Ama unageuka na unarudisha kwa kiwanja katikati.
How now? And victory is here. You manage to extract defeat. Yeah? So now we go now again, Chungwa, Banana, you remember the referendum of 205. And now Kikusa Signal, they are completely on edge. This guy, hata mkiwekelea kwa chakula kwa meza watu wasema na tuombe kwa chakula, ashaweka mchanga, ashamweka chini, So that narrative now again continues. Si tulianza 69. Tuko hapa. Sasa tuko 207. Yeah? Then of course the rest is history. Post-election violence 207, which my people blame it on Raila. They say he was one on the ballot. Yeah? So, and then I said, which is not out of character. So they go back again, 69, say, 82, so it just builds up.
The law part never changes.
It doesn't change. And they're not given a reason to change. So now we come now to 2013. People believe that Raila had no reason even to go to court. This is right, to go to court. Yeah? To come 2017. The guy is defeated fair and square. Still, somehow, he finds a reason to reject results. Yes, he goes to court, he wins, he boycotts another one. People say, then right after that, sasa nimefika. How do you expect people? Look at all that story. Our people, the people of Mount Kenya, they are investors. Investors don't like to change
positions.
Yeah, they don't like. Because you invest once, put your money, put your capital, put your labor, put your everything, watch your mambo ifanya kazi. They don't want to wake up in the middle of the night trying to change some decisions there. They have an investor mindset.
Tunaamka usiku unatoa vitu kwa kiosk unasema sasa.
And they don't even like, they like consistency. I remember there's a mzee in my village, he had a shop. Akiona mkate karibu kuisha, unaenda kununua mkate na kwambia sikuuzi. Because tomorrow somebody will come and find there's no bread and I lose credibility.
So kusema mzata ananga mkate.
Mzee ananga mkate, So before you understand from that point of view, because we don't change positions.
So you think Central
Even
Kenya?
In 2003, do you know when Uhuru became president? In the people of Mount Kenya, he became president in 2003. Immediately he rose to Kibaki. People pointed at him. This is our next president. In fact, they told me, hii ni njao, hii ni ile ndama. hii ng'ombe tuilishe, tukalishe polepole. Hii ng'ombe ikimaliza kazi
nyingine tunaanza kukamua.
10 years. They again Mazakaroa, Peter Kennedy. No, but people said, 10 years ago we made a decision in our mind. They are investors. They will not change. They will not keep on having committee in the middle of the night saying whether they made the right decision. Unawekelea, you let it grow.
Unawekelea betu unangoja hivi.
Yeah. So people are getting concerned. I'm telling you, I've been in the mix of these things for 30 years now. I've seen it all. People now asking, why is William Ruto so ahead in Central? It's not new. In 2013, that's when he became president.
2013, 10 years ago.
10 years ago. The minute tumechagua huyu Uhuru, because they like to have a next coming soon.
The regimental.
Next showing. They like to plan that thing ahead. They're either farmers or business people. Nani anagojea ukimaliza kuvuna mahindi, immediately you plant for the next one. And that is the mindset of us as farmers and as business people. We are farmers, so we plant right after harvest of the other one. And we are business people, we don't like inconsistency, we don't like changing positions, we don't like keep on making business decisions in the middle of the journey. Whether business is doing good or not. We like to make a decision, stick to it, and go. So this is a deep Gerald. And when people dismiss them on the basis of emotions of today, they are so historical and so deep.
So the other things that you mentioned the history of Mount Kenya and why it has not been very kind to Raila, not only Raila Odinga, but even the father, which is an historical from 1969. Now the question is, clearly then Raila Odinga has never, Central Kenya clearly then, like you say, will never change. Because historically it's deeply entrenched. Yeah. And even you don't know why.
Yeah.
That thing has never changed. And you said in 2002 or 2003, you said he had the real chance.
Yes.
In Central Kenya to grab his chance as a presidency. But he squandered it. Now, what do you think is in the character of Raila Odinga with inconsistency? Because he got into government with Kibaki, they were so good. They were good. Even when Kibaki was being sworn in, he was on a wheelchair.
It was an amazing government.
So, what do you think is the problem? Is he impatient or mashida nini?
One, I think he's impatient. Two, he's too clever. Instead of wise. Yeah?
What's the difference between being clever and being wise?
No, clever, everybody can do it. Clever is mchoro. And he has a political brain. He's a good strategist. But even a good strategy must be tempered by conscience. A good brain must be tempered by wisdom. That I can chorea you and take those grasses from you. I have the ability. Don't I have it? I take it. But it should be tempered by a good heart. So you should balance that you can do something, that you have the brains to do something. Don't do it. Because it's not only the brain that is supposed to talk to you, even your heart and your soul and your conscience. So the problem with my good friend Raila is that he has the ability to make those moves. But he should resist them if he thinks, yes, I can do this if I want. But is it helpful? Will it help me? How will I live with the consequences? How will I live with that? So he makes those machinations. Yeah, he makes those machinations. Like this handshake thing. On paper, everything looks so good. He has chored with his head. He's a good mchoro. BBI is a wonderful mchoro from his head. What he's not telling you is his heart. He said, it is William, This is William. If I come up with something to destabilize him. The advantage he has, because he knows about the 10 years I'm talking about, will be so huge. What do I do? What can I find? Okay, my brother Uhuru, I do like this, and this. That's not the head. That's the brain working. But the heart should have told him, so that ability to balance the head and the heart is what fails him. Because when his head tells him do, he doesn't ask the heart, is there anything to do?
Inaenda hivyo. So as we close the discussion on Raila Odinga Central Kenya, do you think that's going to change this time?
It can change only with that formula I've given you.
The formula of William Ruto.
Of William Ruto. So that we can rehabilitate Raila. Yes. Pole to ada Ruto government, Ada Ruto government.
So then Central Kenya can accept Raila Odinga.
It's ada Ruto.
It's under Ruto.
Yeah, that time, People like us will go and tell them, look, rehabilitate kidogo. You know, every sinner has a future and every angel has a past. So wacha tumsaidia kidogo. He might be, you know, kidogo we might help him. So that also because he has played his role in democratization of this country. Yeah, he has his contribution. He's made. So pamoja tu tunaweza kusaidiana. Tuvuke hii hapa. After 10 years of William, waenda nyumbani pia na William. Watu wachia na sisi tu.
Kina Moses Kuria kuja endeleza
kazi.
So what if your prophecy doesn't work? Or you're pretty sure you're stuck
sure? If to work, the more things change,
the more they remain the same.
Just another divisive election.
Then he'll call another handshake. So in a case that
the problem is now if he loses now, there's no handshake. Because even his ground will be telling him now every day you'll be taking a spear to go and hunt and you'll be coming home with twigs, with leaves. Wapi mbuzi? Wapi sungura? You know? Come coming home and you're taking a spear and then you're going to hunt. Every day you come and say, you know what happened? I went there and then somebody came. I could see the swara, but you know IBC kachukua swara sijui nini.
Ngoja swara kidogo waje tuongee.
Swara ilikuliwa na crocodile huko tukienda Egypt. No. People will get tired of these stories at some point, you know.
So if these guys don't come together and they go head to head.
And he will lose. Baba will lose.
If they go head to head with
Baba will lose. And once he loses, the magic of with his support, with his base, will be gone. Because those guys are not stupid. They are among the most intelligent in this country.
So they'll not pull another Machozi Monday.
Kuna zero. Watambia baba sasa wewe. Tunakupenda lakini tunajipenda zaidi.
We loved him but God loved him more. So these guys, if they work together, then head to head.
The only thing is avoid head to head. I'm very happy that my good friends Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Kipsele, and Nani. These are the one. Wetangula. They have come together. So let it be, sisi ya kina Moses Kuria hapo na baba na Ada William against these others. Tuwakule sosa.
Kuria, mambo yako ni ngumu sana. Aya, mambo yako sasa shida sasa kuna profesi yako ilianguka. Ulisema utasimamisha Reagan kama Reagan ndiye imekupeleka mbio.
Wacha nikwambie. You know, for all intents and purposes, Reagan has stopped.
Reagan stopped where?
Yes, kuna people playing rhythm and blues wanasema ni Reagan lakini Reagan kitambo. Sasa you think Reagan because I'm county assemblies sijui ka grant halafu kupiga kura na napoa 200,000 ndio ipite. You know, I'm leaving for some events, you know, go nje every time, and I talk to people. I know Mwananchi, I know where they are. So it may appear to be winning, but that's not reggae.
Yeah, but you see,
even in the final,
let's be honest. You said the other time, you said that it will not even pass in the county assemblies. It will not get the support at least in the county assemblies. It looks like it's wrecking it already. I was thinking even in your backyard, it looks like people are starting to dance. You must get very rinda BBI.
I bought popcorn on this BBI issue. I'm just chewing popcorn. I don't give half a hoot how it goes. Wakipitisha ni sawa. So they are creating positions. Kwani me I don't want position. So why watengeneza tutakalia. So it's okay but me my only objection to BBI is this nominating 180 women. And I know because I talked to women in my constituency. I was there yesterday. You do not empower women because you have nominated 180 women, sasa wewe paka lipstick, chukua handbag, enda huko. That will not change the lot of my women. It will not give them water. It will not give them electricity. It will not work for their school fees. I say I am the women of Gatundu because I'm the one who looks after the issues that are of concern to my women.
You are the women of Gatundu.
I am voted for 95% of women in Gatundu vote for me. I'm not particularly very handsome. Yeah, but so
you're the women, okay.
The issues that matter to women, to my women, I remove them tungi from their bags. I remove this karambai from their sitting rooms. Yeah? I remove them. I save them from having harambes to build schools, to build dormitories and classrooms. So I'm the women.
You don't need any more women competing with you.
I don't need any more women, Rep. And let me give you a constituency like Suba North or Suba South, where Miri Odhiambo is a member of parliament. Miri Odhiambo is a main rep of Suba. Yeah, because the men vote for her because she looks after their issues. Do they say this one? Do they want now to have another rep for men? Yeah, it's Miri Odhiambo who is a men rep. Yeah, because she's a woman, but she is supposed to work for both men and women. So nominating 180. And people keep telling me, this is pesa kidogo compared to Easy and all those kind of things. So another guy told me the other day, why are you opposed to 180 women? It's only 2 billion a year. That is like one business deal. I said, my friend, it's not just the money. It's also something called the moral authority. Yeah? Like tomorrow, we have a bloated civil service. One of the things I want to push in the next government, because I want to be in the next government, and one thing that I'll own single-handedly is that we have to rationalize our wage bill. Because, Gerald, from today, from morning to 1 p.m., you'll work for civil servants. Because even this recurrent expenditure, 52% of our money, even more, is salaries only. So it means that from morning to 1 p.m., you are working to pay
the civil servants.
50 million people, 49 million people are working from morning to 1 p.m. to pay 1 million people. How fair is that?
Wow.
Yeah? 49 million are working for 1 million. Because that's the money they raise through taxes to pay this Akina Sisi sasa, 1 million. Unaona, 1 million. How stupid can the 49 million be? Si muungane against this 1 million.
And J.M. Karaoke was actually killed for saying it's a country of 10 million beggars and 1 million millionaires.
Mimi nasema Kenya is a country of
10 millionaires.
49 million fools and 1 million conmen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because how can 49 million people work half a day, including you, to pay 1 million guys or 1 million of us only? Simujipende hata nyinyi. Eh? So we have to rationalize the civil service. We have to send some people home. We have to give them handshake, golden handshake, waanze biashara so that they can create jobs. But imagine now me, I'm pale kwa Ministry of Transport. I'm telling people there, you guys, the wage bill is big. We need to save money for development, for schools, for roads, for health, for blah, blah, blah. So please mchukue hii handshake kidogo, mwende nyumbani, and then you start businesses there, we'll support you, even we'll give you training for entrepreneurial skills, so that you mujisimamie. And look at me, Hon.Moses Kuria. Unatuambia tuende nyumbani, so that you save wage bill. And you have just nominated 180 of you. Nitaambia watu nini?
Kichwa yako ni mzuri.
Now, so because of these 180 nominations, we lose the moral pedestal. We lose the moral authority. We lose the moral leadership to look at people in the eye and civil servants in the eye and tell them we are going to rationalize the civil service. I'll ask you, handshake was supposed to bring peace so that you don't have this blame game. How come handshake didn't focus on civil service reform? Because now, if you try to do civil service reform as one party, the other party will say, huyu Uhuru hapendi watu, anafuta watu kazi. Now they are together. If handshake was genuine, it should have started by saying, our first agenda, whether you are NASA, whether you are Jubilee, whether you are which party, our first agenda, we are uniting as a country to reduce the wage bill. Na mtu akifutupewa aende nyumbani nisisikia akisema Wajaluo tunaonewa, Wakikuyu tuko namna hii, Mluya tuko namna hii, we are all united, Uhuru family, Raila family, we are united so that we can save this country.
The economy.
So we can save the economy. If reducing the wage bill and sending people on a golden handshake was the first product of BBI or handshake, I would be on the front line.
You'll be celebrating handshake.
Yes.
Now, I would want to bring you back to that discussion on the economy. But before that, I want to still take you back to BBI. You were in Kitui trying to stop reggae.
I was not trying to stop reggae.
Gil
was trying to stop me.
It was trying to stop you.
Yeah.
All right. Gil was reggae.
Yes.
All right. So it has changed from, how did you guys get from this thing will not pass, reggae must stop, to now, whatever happens?
You see now, we have got our own agenda of changing this country. And what we are saying as a Hustler nation, it may be today, it may be 5 years, or maybe 10 years, but our day is coming. That's simple. That's our simple message. Our day is coming. Today you can bribe MCS to pass this thing. Even my prediction is, if it passes through county assemblies, it may even pass in the national in the referendum. Of course, National Assembly will pass. We have got 100 MPs and 300 cows, according to Junet. So what do you expect?
100 MPs and 300 cows.
Yes. So that's what Junet told us. So it will pass in Bunge. It will even pass with the Mwananchi, not because it's popular, but people who don't like BBI will not go to vote. Apathy will be highest. So watu wataenda kukamua ng'ombe zao, to pick tea, to deliver coffee to the factories. Wengine watakuwa I doubt it'll be anybody like Victoria that day.
Kwa nini imani na watu wa Victoria? Wote watakuwa wameenda kwa kura.
Kwa kura wakati huo. So people who like BBI will wake up to go and vote. People who don't like BBI will stay at home.
Mind their business.
Yeah. That's why you are saying, Mr. Hustler, it may not be today. It may not be in the BBI. But your day is truly coming.
All right, so let me ask you. This thing passes. And by good luck, because I'm building up on your prophecy as well, that if Raila Odinga does not unite with William Ruto and they go head to head, William Ruto wins, right? And you've already told us as well that there are a lot of chances that BBI will pass.
Yeah.
Now, the BBI passes, you have the new constitution, and you win the government.
Yeah.
What will be the first thing that you guys will do?
As government?
Yes.
Of course, we have our pledge. We've made our...
With 180 whatever's, with, what is the first thing you guys will do?
We will close that bridge when we come to it. It is not the only problem this government will leave us. It will pass BBI, and people will remember me. You will remember me. And I wanted you to keep this on record, that Kenyans will regret, because once the minute mnasikia we are going to the first tender, itakuwa ya kutafuta pahali ya kuhang bags 180 women. You're your first tender of the other government.
Tender ya kwanza in the coming government, nukutafuta mahali pa kuweka handbag.
Kuweka handbag, sababu ile iko with 180 women. It's not the only problem that we are going to inherit.
Yeah.
You look at our debt situation, I think by next year, we'll be somewhere in the region of 12 trillion. That is like 12% of our GDP. Yeah, we are a $10 billion economy, $100 billion economy. So you can say that we are going to be somewhere like in the region of 12%, of our GDP in debt. Debt servicing will be a big issue. It's something that even me, before I sleep, I pray for this country first. And then I also think, what are we going to do to clean up this mess? Yeah, to answer wapi. So it's quite burdensome, and we can only ask for the grace of God to give us the energy and the wisdom.
That's what I want to
to not only clean the mess that we BBI and all this borrowing is going to leave us, but also to deliver our promise to invert the pyramid. Because that's really our agenda. Because our promise and our core philosophy, why I work with William Ruto personally, is because we share that vision that we need to reinvert the pyramid by putting the people of the bottom first, those issues first, and not the top 2-3% up there. And by the way, people think it's a question of equitability. No, it's not a question of equitability. It's not a question of sharing. It's a question of production.
You cannot share what you've not produced.
Tell me, some people are going through, some people are going in my constituency, in my region, telling people, now BBI, utapewa basari, mtoto ya kule kwa duale anapewa. What nonsense is this? That we need BBI to give bursary. And let me ask you something. When I went to school, there was no CDF even. My parents were being charged something called development fee. We were paying school fees. There was no bursary, there was no CDF. What's the difference between then and now? Who do you give bursary? Poor people or rich people? You give to poor people.
Yeah.
How can you go and tell people to celebrate poverty instead of asking them to ask themselves why they are poor?
Why they cannot pay school fees?
How come then we are affording? Are we going forward or moving backward? My father would deliver coffee to Magomano Coffee Factory, member number 402, and pay for my school fees. My mother used to sell bananas here in Kawangwale Market and pay for my other school fees, even my university fees. How come now the parents of today, our generation, we can't take coffee and pay for school fees?
Or milk.
We can't take milk and pay for school fees. A woman cannot go to Kawangwale Market and sell bananas and get enough money. Another woman cannot go to Nyamakima and do her business peacefully and pay for her school fees. Why is there a need for people to come for bursary? And instead of asking that question, we are telling them, celebrate BBI, Mr. Mount Kenya, it will give you more bursary. Instead of asking, why does this hard-working guy require bursary? And we tell them that it's a good thing. Ushenzi.
What should be the conversation? Production?
Production. My friend, tuko na watoto 20 kwa nyumba. Na tuko na half a kg of unga. How can we have more unga to feed these 20 children? Otherwise, they will start fighting in the house. Naturally, you know that's what will happen. Yeah. And then we will say, why are you fighting? Why can't you be cohesive? Why can't you be one united country?
We'll donate unga.
And it's only a quarter of unga they are fighting, but it's natural. We don't give people enough to eat. We don't give people enough water. So people are fighting over water in Mau and all those other places.
Kapedo.
Yeah, Kapedo. Yeah. And then we wonder why. And then we think a document is going to make us cohesive. My foot. Until we focus on production. Until we bake more cake. But getting people to be preoccupied with the distribution of the small cake, the mega cake that we have, and trying to create new, we are trying to heal fissures of the past. You create another one because you want to hide the fact that we have not helped people. The fact that our people who are there, our fathers who are here before us, were doing a better job than us of helping our people to be self-reliable. So mimi nakuja pale naambia vijana mjisimamie, mjisimamie. Mimi nimeshindwa kujisimamia, nimeenda kutafuta kazi huko bunge. And then I'm telling people, vijana hapa mjisimamie. Yeah? So really, we need to have an honest conversation. And by the way, once I enable that guy at the bottom of the pyramid to have something to take home, yeah, to have some bread for the day. Where he got bread, he produced. Where he produced, we have better economy. Produce and also focus on export. We can't have money just zunguka between me and you, and then me to you, you to me. We have to break the vicious cycle. Where is export promotion in this BBI rubbish? Where is it? So at least I know I'll get my avocados to China, and so therefore there's some new money that will come to me and my people of Gatundu. Yeah, that was not here with us, just zungukaling among ourselves.
So you feel the problem is the economy, not the document, not the constitution.
Economy. It's economy. Even when people fight the economy, why do people, I have worked in countries where there is no politics, but equally people their stomachs are full. Yeah? But the minute, instead of focusing on how we produce, we're just focusing, kwa nini huyu anapigana na huyu mwingine? Ni kitu kimoja, ni njaa. Why do we fight after elections in njaa? If this guy of Kibra ambaye anangoa reli, kama angekuwa na something meaningful to do, would they be ngowing the reli? Where will you have the time? I look forward to the day when I will go to Gedorai or to Kibra or to my favorite hometown of Kondere, and I tell people to go and do something. They tell me two things. One, we are busy. We are tuko kwa jua kali, tuko kwa factories, we are in this and that. Sorry, ujisote leo. Ama ya pili waniambie, leta mtoto yako aende kwa front line atupe mawe. That's the idea you look forward to in this country. But we have come to believe in voodoo or witch doctor politics. And witch doctor politics is some people who consult witch doctors. When they go to a witch doctor, he must give them an answer. See, you have paid, so you deserve an answer. Mm-hmm. So mimi nikienda nini mtoto wangu nini hanisiki huko nyumbani, anakuambia unaweza kuwa na jirani yako Even before he tells you, oh, you're not talk.
That's what
we are doing. That's what all we are doing in this country. Oh, so unajua William Ruto. So unajua iko namna hii. So unajua northeastern people. You know they don't like us. Unajua sisi hatupendwi. Ni hiyo tu ya uganga politics. Witch doctor politics, where you have to get a villain, a person to be a villain for our problems. I refuse. I'm not boarding. I'm not buying that one.
You're not boarding that.
I am not going to look at other people as my fellow citizens in this country as a problem. I want to look at what we are not doing as a problem.
There's something Kisiangani said when he was here last, and he said that the first business of the incoming government will be to tell them that the proposals in this document are not possible, like the 35%. He said the first business, that is the reason why I asked you, in a case that you take the government, do you change the constitution again? He said the first business will be to tell them that it's not possible. To implement these things is not possible. So, a government that will have Moses Kuria next, what will be the first thing that you tell the people?
You've heard my views about this document, and I'm going to offer myself for election. And so the next election is a referendum of whether we should implement PBI.
That will be the next thing.
Yes.
When you take over government?
2022, watu wakinichagua, wanajua whatever I'm not happy with. It will be
ukiingia kwa biashara, kazi ya kwanza ni referendum ya BBI tena. Ya kureverse BBI.
Ya kureverse, but there are many wonderful things in BBI. Lakini kama hiyo 180, I swear to God, hata ikipita, the next government, the first business, I am calling for referendum kutoa hiyo nominations. Na Wakenya wataamua, sasa hiyo kutakuwa na issue nyingine. Hiyo tu.
Na watu watakuwa wameenda return.
I don't mind about 35% whether it is there or not there. I'm not buying that argument. Because wacha ikuwe hapo kama deni. If it's a good thing. I'm not worried about that one. Yeah. Honestly speaking, I don't see anything wrong with that. I know some of my colleagues even in Tanga are saying, oh, you know that 5%, today we are not raising 15%. You know, wacha ukuwe na deni yangu. Yeah, wacha wae.
Jiwange tu nakudai.
Ujue nakudai. So I don't see anything.
Hata kama utaleta ni sawa.
Hata kama utaleta, it will be written somewhere that we can auction government.
Ukilala usiku unasema at least kuna kadeni.
Serikali kuna pesa yangu 35%. Yeah.
Hata kama utaiona.
Hata kama utaiona.
For consolation purposes.
For consolation purposes. Na pia kwa balance sheet. Ndio andika kama receivables. Selo.
35%. Let's talk about it. You're an economist. And
yes.
There's a conversation that has been going on. There's something you talked about, the bloated executive.
Yeah.
The other day, the president did new appointments. Last week, he did new appointments. And he has had the CSS. There are ministries which are even having in an excess of 4 CSS. Chief Secretary, Administrative Secretary, I don't know who those people are. And this is at the point when the government is saying it cannot even afford to run its own budget. All right? This is a time when IMF is telling us you need to slim down your operations. You need to live within your means. You need to close up parastatals. What's your feeling about the decisions that are being made in this government?
You know me, my question to this government, one thing I like about these new CS is that they are young. And they represent the future and the promise of this country. When I look at people like Mase Mwangangi, I look at people like some of them wamekaliwa huko hata hatuwajui. I meet them in some events and I'm like, unijui mimi ni CS. I've never seen them or met them or felt them. And I'm a legislator and I've never met them.
And that is what will be happening in the next bunge.
Imagine. Even this one now, I meet some people. Mimi ni mbunge kama wewe bwana. You know,
it cannot get to us.
It cannot get to us, you know. So, but my question is, why can't you make David Osiani to be the CS for industrialization? Because he's capable. As people who came after us in our student leadership in the University of Nairobi, I know David Osiani is capable of not just doing karaoke, but also, you know, running a ministry.
Karaoke.
Yeah.
He used to do karaoke.
Yes, he's a good, you know. He used to do for us karaoke at Kenya National Theatre, so I know him more as my good friend. So why can't you tell Betty Maina go home and you make David Osiani CS if you believe in them? Why? You just give them these musical chairs of things to go reading statistics. I could say how many COVID cases, you know? Why, if you really believe in them? Huh? Why can't you make them CSs? Why can't you make them PSs where they become accounting officers and they have the energy and the drive? And then you mentor them. So you're just calling people CS, they are doing nothing. In fact, my favorite CAS is Zach. Zach Kinuthia. Since he goes firing headmasters, exercising powers.
Unless he was trying to keep himself busy. He was trying to find his space.
To sports and maybe ataita Gor Mahia ikishindwa wachape kiboko. So it's okay, chapa watu. Make yourself effective hata kama hiyo kiti yako sababu ni kiti bure. Hata kama ina powers, give yourself powers to don't have.
Allocate yourself powers.
Because just giving people some this feel good factor. Oh, you are CS, you are this, you are that. It's a con game.
So what do you think goes on in the mind of Uhuru Kenyatta when he's making those decisions?
Of course, Uhuru is trying to balance between so many people who don't know about how this country is. And I'm saying this because we worked with Uhuru Kenyatta for many years. A wonderful gentleman, a great listener, very consultative person.
But you're saying he doesn't listen to you anymore.
Very consultative person. Sasa nitauliza baba when I meet him next. Ulileta nini wewe baba? We want our Uhuru back. Very consultative. Can I tell you something? In 2011, it's 10 years ago, Uhuru was a Minister for Finance. And he was to lead the first budget under the new constitution. So Parliament, the budget committee led by Honorable Elias Bau, who was MP for Maragua at that time, they said Uhuru cannot, there's no budget speech in provision in the new constitution. So he read the budget in his office in Treasury. The amazing thing of that budget is that those people of us who are working with Uhuru said, I don't want to see you guys technocrats. We've had enough of you. Wait for us to finish as laymen so that then you can now move in. Oh, remember economic stimulus? That's when we brought those things. Wonderful things, I don't know, water harvesting, real things that can, practical things that are doable. That is a time when he was placing high premium on people, because people who know what Mwananchi wants. But now, the government is packed of like babies. Ukiwaambia what is poverty, they Google poverty. They have no first-hand experience. They're trying to treat a disease they only see on Google. Yeah? And you think that things will be the same.
So what changed?
The government is only as good as people who are there.
So when did he start changing?
Well, I think two things. One, influx of so many technocrats. And not just technocrats who have got no direct touch with the Mwananchi. There's nothing wrong with being a technocrat. I've told you my life, I've been a technocrat. But I cannot Google about poverty. I cannot tell you poverty from sisi ni mabeshti. Umaskini. So I know because we have come Kajane together.
You've come far.
It's not that I'm proud of it. Taka tuachane na huyo aende huko mimi niende huko. Lakini I know it only too well, so it is spontaneous the way we would approach things. And the second thing is handshake. Whatever the good intentions was, we have lost 5 years. We have lost the momentum. We no longer talk about roads. We no longer talk about water. We no longer talk about schools. We no longer talk about electricity connections. We no longer talk about things that mean something to the people who voted for us and for the Jubilee Promise. Because people are not crazy or people are not mad. We do not grow like mushrooms from nowhere as a government. It's because we had a manifesto which we took to the people. And we told the people of this country, this is what we do for you. So just come and abandon it. It is like you have played wonderful football in the first half. When we come back to the second half, you start playing rugby. How now?
All right. Now, last week the president had a very big meeting at Cidaros of cabinet meeting, and the deputy president was not there. The deputy president is your friend, and you've also mentioned rightfully that the president is also your friend. What is going on between your two friends?
Well, I think that, again, some people are hell-bent because there's somebody who calls cabinet meetings. That cabinet has a secretary. And in most of these cases, you find it is the guy who goes for the cabinet meetings. He didn't even ask the president, do I call this one or not? Huyo ni aliyekuwa. Yeah? Now I hear they want to even appoint someone, call them a VP at a, executive order. Anyway, kuteseka ni kwa muda. That's all I can say.
So nini inaendelea? Because now you cannot. It's not like the president is not aware that this.
Well. I think because it's not for not trying. I know the president has put in a lot of effort to repair the relationship with the deputy president. I know they have had several meetings. The president has tried extremely well under very strenuous, very traumatizing circumstances. So I know the two of them have tried. So we can only say that, I'll give you a story, Gerald, about a couple in my place. The man was Kamau and the woman was Wanjiku. So neighbors went to Kamau and asked Kamau, how do you live with this woman, this wife of yours? He said, why? Don't you know she's mad? And not only she is mad, her family, they have got that history of madness. So this guy was like, oh, how come we are living with this woman all these years? And then the same neighbors went to Wanjiku. And they told Wanjiku, up to now you still live with this man who has got a nundu, a handbag. Mm-hmm. So how come we sleep in the same bed? I would have seen. And they convinced, no, you don't see properly. So one day, the Wanjiku thought that the reason she does not see the nundu is because of darkness. So she timed when Kamau was sitting in the homestead and attacked him and tried opening the shah to see the nundu. And then Kamau said, the madness I was told. Here it is. Yeah. So that's how they ended up. That's what happened between Uhuru and Ruto. Blame it on the villagers. Mmoja anatafuta nundu, mwingine anasema kichadi yule niliambiwa. I do hope that I pray.
You've said that
I hope that they will come back together. And I do hope they will come back together.
But you've also said
I don't just hope and pray and leave everything to God. I will do whatever I can humanly do to try and ensure that.
How many marriages do you want to repair, Moses Kuria? You want to repair a marriage between Raila Odinga and William Ruto? You want to repair a marriage between
I'm preparing myself for political career in counseling, So.
So which one will you start repairing for? Unaweza kurepair gari niweze kurepair nyingine.
Mungu anafanya maajabu yake.
Whichever comes first.
Whichever comes first. But what I'm saying is, me, I care for this country. I don't give a damn what I become, what person I am. I don't give a damn about that. I just want us to have a good country. When I look at my children, I want us to have. I really, really don't give a damn about even who is in leadership. But I really ask myself, if kama leo mimi na wewe tunateseka, what kind of a country are we going to leave to our children? For me, that's very important. And I can lose everything to ensure that we have a country which... And you have that opportunity. That's the other thing. Wazungus, foreigners, Chinese, they come here and say, wow. Sometimes I told you I've worked for a decade in the Middle East. Sometimes I look at this country of ours. If you just remove it and you place it to the Middle East or for those people with oil money and all that, this is a paradise. Kenya is a paradise. Kenya can be a very successful country in the world, not just, you look at some of the things we've done, M-Pesa, for example. Other countries say, when I grow up, I want to have M-Pesa like Kenya, because of how far we have traveled. Look at the assets we have in this country. Look at our human capital. Look at our people. Look at our, the determination and the energy of our people. Look at our talents. Look at our athletics. We have so much going for us. I do believe if we stop all these nonsenses, if we stop having the wrong conversation, if we start putting the foundation for driving this country forward, we can leave a country for our children which is better than the one we live now. Not like today when I've told you we are trumpeting, giving people bursary, when our Jomo Kenyatta, even Moi's time, even beginning of Kibaki's time, our parents were affording those things without without bursaries. And now we are trumpeting about bursary. So we live in a country that's worse than our founders. We can leave a better country for our children than what we have found.
Uhuru Kenyatta has a Ghana meeting. He had a Ghana convention in Nyeri. And you guys dismissed him. You said the Ghana was not going to work. And it looks like you even in record for calling President Akanyao kamekaukiwa.
I did not call the President Akanyao. So
paka imekauka. Ukiona paka imekaukiwa.
Wewe ndio ile story ya
December.
Nimekuelea 18 Mayureni.